You are all once welcome on Marginal Tuition Training. Today is just an opening night. We are only going to introduce what is going to happen within the 2 weeks program we are going to embark on. We are starting, God willing, tomorrow in the evening. So one thing that we should take note is that for research writing, if you want to be a scholar in the field, after this training, you must ensure constant practice. And those who are also fortunate and you are writing your thesis or dissertation, make sure you apply all the principles here to write them. Also, one thing that we should all keep in mind about research is more of subjective than objective. In that case, whenever you have your supervisor, you must listen to your supervisor more on what he or she prefers you to do. At times, the supervisor might not be correct, but that is what he or she is requiring you to do. In that case, you must go by his or her advice. Later on, if by God's intervention, the person gets to know the right thing, and the person directs you to go and change the old one, that one too you must obey and do. What am I teaching you here? I'm saying that aside the knowledge you are going to get, make sure you don't be pride. Whatever your supervisor tells you to do, which you think it is not in line with the idea you know, don't worry about it. Go ahead and do for him or her. Because as we are starting with, I'm trying to tell you that research is subjective. You see, it's an essay format. And when it comes to essay, what will be good for somebody will be bad for the other person. So the same applies to research. That is why at times students think that the supervisors are stressing them. So please, we must get that behind. You see, aside whatever your supervisor will teach you to do, if you present it to different person, that's different person will also give you another means of doing it to his or her perspective. So please, we should not throw that idea away. Number 3, you should know the difference between dissertation, thesis, and manuscript. Know the difference between the 3. When we say dissertation, most often those who are undergrads or those who are doing their first degree, they mostly write dissertation. Why am I saying that? If you get from 60 pages of the thesis you are doing to 80 pages, within that range, so we use the page numbers to determine whether it is a dissertation or it is thesis. So from 60 pages to 80 pages, it means that you are working on dissertation. So at times they are master students, but although they are doing their masters, they are going to, at the end of the day, they are going to get few pages. And because of that, it becomes a dissertation. So let me write it here for you. This is what I'm talking about. And I said the page numbers ranges from 60 pages to 80 pages, including references. It becomes dissertation. We also have thesis. For thesis, those who are doing MPhil or those who are doing MBA, Their range is mostly, I'm talking about all what I'm saying is an average. That's why I told you, aside this, whatever your supervisor teaches you, although you have the knowledge, you must be obedient. So we have 80 pages to 150 pages. When you write within that range, you are doing thesis. Now, those who are doing PhD, and they are among us here, if you are doing PhD, Doctor of Philosophy. So you see that they have changed it. And somebody will say permanent head damage. If you are doing your PhD, you cannot write a thesis which is 100 pages. No, it should be starting from 120 pages and above. And we are going to learn all these things. How do we write each section of what I'm talking about? The other one I was talking about was manuscripts. Manuscripts. And this one, you know, of late, every master student, if you are doing your master's, you must keep it at the back of your mind that you will publish your thesis. You publish your thesis. So in order to publish your thesis, you convert it into manuscript. You convert your thesis into manuscript. And manuscripts, at times, the highest pages can be 18 or 15 at times. Somebody can write manuscript, publish the manuscript to be an article, and the person is only having 8 pages and it is accepted. So when we say manuscript, we don't need a lot of, excuse my word, voluminous work, which is not necessary. So you bring in the key ideas and the key concepts so that you send to those you want them to publish for, you call them journals. And we have K1 journals. We have about K1 journals, which are, let me say, well recognized. You don't just publish article in any journal. Take note of that. And how to write manuscript is not an aspect of the work we are going to do here this week. I think this training will come up after we are done with this one. The next training Pagina Tuition is going to organize is about how to convert your thesis to manuscript. Or if you don't have any thesis or dissertation, how do you write your manuscript for publication in K1 journals? We will be talking about as another training we are going to do. So if you have this knowledge that this is the idea about dissertation, this is the idea about thesis, this is an idea about those who are doing the PhD. Now, how do you go about the structure? You see, when it comes to research or thesis, it's either you choose to do quantitative or you choose to do qualitative. Please let us take note of whatever I'm saying. Let me scroll down so I can write for you to see. It's either you go for quantitative or you go for qualitative. Somebody will go for a mixed method. Let me show you the differences before I tell you which of them our training is going to focus on. When we say quantitative research, please keep it here. It's not about numbers like the definitions you have been doing. Pagina Tuition does not give that kind of training. You go and read definition for quantitative research, and it's like gathering quantitative data, gathering numerical data. What is that? The key idea is that, you see, research, people have made it difficult, but research is interesting and lovely. When we say quantitative research, please take it once and for all. You will never read it somewhere. We mean that is the secret about it. We mean that you are going to gather data, but the data you are going to gather, you give an option for the respondent or the participant to choose. So those who are going to answer your question, you just ask one question. my organization pays higher salary. Then you give option yes, no, and the person will take one. Every questionnaire, every interview guide you receive, where an option has been given for a person to take one of the option, it means that that person is doing quantitative research. The person is doing quantitative research. So those who have questionnaire and we have strongly disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree, those options for you to take one, it means that that particular person is doing quantitative research. So when we say quantitative research, that is what it means. Don't think it's about the definition you are talking about. So as soon as somebody asks you, Master, you are doing quantitative research, the first thing that comes in mind is that the questions you are going to use to gather your data should be given an option, an objective answers. Like when we go to school, we used to write exams. And one of the aspects of the exams is objective. You just choose yes or no, A, B, C, or D. In that case, they are gathering quantitative data. When we say qualitative, you give an option, you make it open for the person to write his or her mind. In that case, you are gathering qualitative data. So most of the interview, we use mostly interview guide to take qualitative data. Why? You ask the person a question and the person will explain. You ask the person a question and the person will explain. Then you just write it down. Sometimes you do recording of the interviews. It means that you guys are gathering qualitative data. There are some people too, they try to blend the two options because there are some research. If you try to go for only qualitative, you won't get the aspect you wanted to get. There are some research, if you want to only get quantitative, you won't get the aspect you wanted to get. See, qualitative research will give more ideas. Sometimes for the quantitative, you think that these are the options we have. But for the qualitative, somebody can provide an idea. To your surprise, you might not even know that idea. And that means you are doing qualitative research. When we say mixed method, you are blending the two. It's either you use interview and the questionnaire. One of them will gather quantitative, one of them will gather qualitative data, and you are good to go. Or you can use a questionnaire, but the same questionnaire, some will gather quantitative data and some will gather qualitative data, and you are good to go. Now, some people also go online. So that is an aspect of a research. And in our studies, within these 2 weeks, we are going to focus on how to write quantitative research. Why is it that we are focusing on quantitative research? It's because when I get to the analysis column, when we are doing the analysis, the option you choose, the research design you choose, determine the type of analysis you do. I am going to teach you how to use SPSS. In fact, I know how to use many softwares, but I cannot teach you everything about research within these 2 weeks. But I can give you most of the ideas that will make you professional at once within the 2 weeks. But I cannot teach you everything about research. So at the end of the day, the truth is that you cannot be like me, but you will get everything you need to know about research. And you keep on learning to advance yourself in whatever I'm going to teach you. Most of them that I'm going to say, you may not find them in the book directly, because Pagina Tuition is trying to summarize things. We are going to make things easy and simple, like the explanation I just gave. It should be simple for you to understand. It's not about definition we are going to do here. So I said we are going to do quantitative because the analysis, I'm going to teach you quantitative analysis. I will teach you how to do correlation analysis, how to perform regression analysis. In fact, I won't teach you SEM, those who have heard about structural equation model, confirmatory factor analysis, exploratory factor analysis, Mancoba, MANOVA, those aspects, T-test. I'm not going to teach you those aspects of analysis because they are advanced way of doing analysis. And even you can publish an article without them. Let's take note of that. You can publish an article without even performing those analysis. Kurtosis and skillness. All of them will be done as another training specifically for those who wanted to learn how to do advanced analysis in quantitative research. But I will give you the knowledge of analysis, which you can use to finish your PhD, which you can use to finish your MPhil. The knowledge I'm going to give you in the analysis, and that is the quantitative one. We will do regression, we will do correlation, we will do descriptive statistics, we will do frequencies, we will do reliability analysis. Those who have heard about Cronbach alpha, we will do reliability analysis, because those things are the basic ones, at least as a researcher, you should know. And without those I mentioned, the advanced ones I mentioned, you can still publish your articles with those ideas I'm going to give you. So please, let's take note. I didn't choose qualitative because for qualitative, the chapter 1, the chapter 2, chapter 3 of qualitative and quantitative research method will be the same thing. But the difference is about the analysis we are going to do and the data we gather. For qualitative research, we do something called content analysis, or you can also perform thematic analysis. In fact, I will not teach thematic analysis and content analysis here because we are not going to focus on qualitative research. We are going to focus on quantitative research. And those who also want to organize one-on-one to be learning all those things, you can also do that, because it is more or less like for Pagina tuition, every day people organizing one-on-one for their peculiar issues. So that is what we are going. So we are going to focus on the quantitative. Then we also have primary research. Don't worry. I'll give you some time to be asking your questions. We have primary and we have secondary research. Please listen to this one too. When we say primary research, everybody who gathers data from first hand. When I say first hand, what I mean is that you go to the field and you gather your data, whether you distribute it online or not, you are getting it from the first hand. Like sharing questionnaire to people, calling people to come and answer your interview questions for you, and those stuff. You are doing primary research. When we say secondary research, it means that when you get to the analysis, you are going to take data that has already been gathered by somebody else for different purpose. The data has been gathered by somebody else for different purpose. So you are going to gather data from, you are going to use that person's data to come and perform your analysis, because you see that it has linked with the studies you are going to do. And that one is what you term as a secondary research. So some people will go to online, they will take some company's reports, come and do analysis of the report. For those people, they are doing secondary research. But those people who distribute questionnaires, conduct interview, and those staffs, some people will just give tests for people to answer. They are doing primary research. That is the easiest way you can understand the two. Now, you can do primary research, which is quantitative. You can do primary research, which is qualitative. If you understand the quantitative, qualitative, and the mixed method, you will now get the idea of research. So somebody will be doing primary research, but the primary research is focusing on quantitative. Somebody will be doing primary research by focusing on qualitative. Somebody will be doing primary research by using the mixed method. The same way, somebody can do secondary research by taking second person, that means second-hand information to perform the analysis. But for the secondary research, the person can do secondary research, which is quantitative. Secondary research, which is qualitative. Secondary research, which is mixed method. In our case, we are not going to take second-hand person's information to analyze. We are rather going to teach ourselves how to gather data to perform our own analysis with SPSS. And that is the primary research we are going to focus on within the 2 weeks. Now, I will teach you how to install SPSS on your machine. All this training will be given to you for free. That is why your 100 cedis you are paying is not any amount to Pagina tuition. We are only giving you gifts because you can testify to the fact that you have been attending to your schools for so long a time But you don't even understand research, but look at the school fees you are paying. But we are going to take our time. We even finish before the 2 weeks. I'm telling you, at times we even finish 2 days before the 2 weeks. Let's keep that in mind so that you won't get bored along the line. When we are going deeper, the what do you call it? You become boring. When I say you become boring, it means that because it's on daily basis. When we call you to come, you don't want to come. You think that you are going to watch videos. That is good. But if you join the class and you again watch the video, it will rather help you. So please, let us be punctual in class and let us be regular. If you want to only partake with the videos, fine. You have access to them. I don't have problem. But for me, my advice is that you come to class, you ask questions because we will be giving question sections so that some people will also get more knowledge about what we are going to do. So we are going to focus on primary research, which is quantitative. Now, looking at this structure, we said that this training will comprise both theoretical knowledge. It means that when somebody asks you research gap, you are not going to give definition. You should be able to tell the person that this is what we mean research gap. And you become a scholar because if it's about definition, you can read all those definitions from Google. But it's about understanding. That is what we are going to do here. And we give you practical skills. Do you know one interesting thing about this training? That those who have subscribed, you are not going to be disappointed. When I tell you that this is how we write background of the study, I'll give you the idea. The key information we need in the background of a study. After that, I will go online with you. You will see it. I will go online with you. Let me show you some. I will come to online. Then I'll be searching an information on a topic and I'll be writing. Whilst I am doing, I am talking. Whilst I am doing, I'll be talking for you to also understand whatever I'm going to do. I'll teach you how to get your research topics from Google Scholar. You see, when we say research, some people have already done some, and you are rather going to do it in your context. Let me give you one example. Somebody can do a particular topic in Kumasi. You can also do the same topic, but in Accra. The same topic, somebody can use primary students to do, to answer the data. And in that context, it means the person is working based on primary students. The same topic, you can also do it in university. Although the topic looks similar, but they are not the same. They are not the same. These are some of the informations we are going to handle within these 2 weeks. These are the training we are going to get. We will come here and we'll be searching for the current issues. When it comes to research, don't just choose any topic. Learn how to choose current topics, current issues. So we will come to Google Scholar, search for articles, then we pick our topic from them, and we formulate our topics. As you can see some here. As you can see some here, I'll be teaching you the variables in every topic. You must understand variables in topic. If not, you cannot do well. At the same time, I will teach you how to use PowerPoint to design your conceptual frameworks. These ones. How do we do it? What is the brain behind these conceptual frameworks? What is the idea behind them? We will do it. When we say hypothesis, what does that mean? We are going to teach you how to formulate hypothesis for every week. Please, the training is going to be interesting. Those who have subscribed to our training before, thank you very much. I know some people have joined again because they see that everything is on point. And those who are new, sit up, follow us. When it is time, come. Ask your question. We have time for you. When we even close class and you have question, when you ask, we answer you. Those who have also not made any payment, who have not joined, please don't let this opportunity bypass you. I've told you that the 100 Ghana cedis is a gift. Those who have subscribed to our teaching before, they know that we charge more than that. We charge more than that. When you organize one tuition, every 1 hour, we take 60 cedis, but people are organizing it. But when we do mass one like this, we don't want to take that kind of money. One-on-one, every 1 hour is 60 cedis on our side. but we are always getting people to also subscribe. So these are the things we are going to focus. I shared them on the page. I will teach you how to write research topic. I will teach you how to identify variables, how to design conceptual framework with a PowerPoint. We save it in a picture form, then we go and fix it in our project work or in our thesis. I will teach you how to write your research hypothesis. I will teach you how to write your research objective. What is the difference between research hypothesis and research questions? What is the difference? Very, very important. Listen to this one before I close. Whenever you are doing quantitative research, the truth is that you only write hypotheses, not research questions. But when you are doing qualitative research, we write research questions. That's the difference between the two. So for quantitative, we go for hypothesis. For qualitative, we go for research questions. But of late, let me tell you, I told you research is subjective. Of late, people are doing quantitative research, but they will state research questions, and at the same time, they will state hypotheses. We accept them, but that is not the norm. That's not the right way. But it's accepted. Everyone who does that, you will be accepted, and you can even finish your work. I'm talking about the thesis, not publishing articles. For that one, you cannot do that there. So, when we say hypothesis, it comes in when we are doing quantitative research. But when we say research questions, it comes in when we are doing qualitative. But if you want to write research questions when we're doing quantitative research, of which I'm going to teach you, we have a way of writing the research question, which makes it quantitative. And in that case, you move your hypothesis to chapter 2, which is the literature review. Literature review. So please, let us take note of that. I mentioned literature review. We are going to talk about that. That one is very, very easy. When we say literature review, literature is anything that has been said, anything that has been written, like what you see on my screen, they are all literature. When we say review, it means that whatever has been said, you are going to check again, you are going to listen again. If it was written, you are going to read it again. If we are doing that, we call literature review. So in every topic you will select, every topic, the variables, as I said, I'm going to teach you variables. Every variable has a notes online at library. When you go and take notes on those things and you are reading, you are doing literature review. After reading, you present only the important information. Thank you very much. I am ending here. If you have questions, please, you can bring for us to discuss your question. We have only 4 minutes to end the opening session.